What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action we've got today. Matrius versus Abysme. He's also known as Nullus, and I think we're going to be actually calling him Nullus today because he's playing on his Nullus account. But a very, very blockbuster game coming at you guys. Both these guys are incredibly strong players. Matrius having had a lot of success in tournaments of late. I believe he's come second as his best S-tier tournament win, as well as winning some lower level tournaments. I don't know exactly what you call them, like A-tier or B-tier tournaments. Nullus, on the other hand, hasn't really had the success that one might expect from him. He is an incredibly strong player, definitely having a lot of success on the ladder of Age of Mythology, but when it comes to the tournaments, we haven't really seen him get too far past the top 8, really. But he's currently matching up with one of the best in the round of 16, so we'll see how things are going to go here, ladies and gentlemen, as we are moving in to game number 1, spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is Matreiuss, and his opponent today in the blue color, playing as Loki. His name is Nullus. And as always, in this matchup, in this game, in this series, in this tournament, we start with competitive mega random. Competitive mega random, ladies and gentlemen. We got a very, very interesting spawn here. This one's looking very reminiscent of a certain map that was actually removed from the random map pool called Highland. However, on Highland, the town center spawns a lot further away from that middle water. And we'll see how things are going to go here. But with Nullus grabbing this dock nice and early here in the middle, finding the water, there's a lot of fish here. This does actually favor the Loki player quite significantly because he should be able to get out more fishing ships than his opponent. Depending on how many fishing spots are actually in the middle, he should be able to get the majority of these. And not only that, both players seeing that their docks are in the middle of each other here is going to be a big thing. So you can see the Matrius here, he can't build that second fishing ship, whereas the fishing ship already comes out for Nullus. So he's already going to have himself a bit of an advantage coming forward here. And he also gets the hippopotamus right next to his town center. And we see that Matrius has actually decided to build a granary. So it's already huge advantage for Nullus in this matchup, I would have to say, in the early game. So we have to talk about what the kind of strategies coming forward here are going to be for these players, because, well, with the water being all in the middle, it does dictate that it's going to be a very, very aggressive fight for this middle that's going to be necessary if you want to win this. As we do see that Ulfsark scouting around, he does actually find himself in another little pool of water here, but I think he misses the fact that there could be fish over there. He's turning back and checking out what's happening there. Looks like there is actually going to be another bit of water at the top as we find a little bit more fish on this map. 2 fishing spawns on both of those sides of the water here, as more fishing ships coming out. Looks like Nullus has actually cut fishing ships. He goes for 4 here. Looking like a house coming down and another dock maybe going to come down over here. As he does see the fishing spots there, he does decide to chuck the dock down. And same too, I reckon Matrius is going to be looking for that dock up the top side of the map, which is a little bit of a problem here, because I would, if you actually came into this map with a strategy and you weren't having to think about it from the get-go, I think the best play here for Nullus would probably be to do a Heimdall rush on this dock over here, going for immediate like Herser and an Einherjar with the Undermine to take this dock down and build some early longboats out to win this middle of the water. Because if he doesn't, then he's going to be finding himself at the whim of a very, very standard 4:30 advance time here from Matrius, and Matrius is just going to be able to get himself out Jason and a Minotaur and knock this dock down and win this entire water for himself. Now, it's not the end of the world to lose this water, but it is a bit of an issue giving away 4 fishing, 4 free villages basically to your opponent, which effectively is an 8 villager swing in the end of the day here if Matrius can win this. So We'll see how it's all going to go as Nullus is throwing up his temple, still a little bit away from advancing, whereas Matrius looks like he's already trying to click up, and he has actually clicked up, so he went for a 4:15 here, which is really, really fast, as the dock comes up over on this top side as well to grab those fishing locations there. We'll see if Matrius even needs to bother with a second dock on this location. I don't know if he needs to, because he knows at the moment there's just one dock from Nullus, so he doesn't have to worry about overcommitting to this middle water. But we'll see how it's going to go. There's the house, there's the temple, and still no advance time here from Nullus, as he's also getting a dwarf and an ox cart. Now, the thing is here, playing Loki on this map, there's tons of hunt. There's tons of hunt. So the lack of fish here, the lack that Nullus might be finding himself having, is not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. He should be fine here to just play standard 4-setty style and be okay. We do see that second dock actually is coming through for Matrius. So he is definitely saying, I'm going to win this water here and you're not going to stop me. Imagine if that was like a 4-minute advance time here from Nullus. Could have undermined this dock and been attacking this location already with a longboat out right now. Could be a very different story. But we see the Minotaur now marching forward as 4-setty is on the way. Cheeky wall coming up over here for Nullus, as well as he's ready to get those Herser out. There is a beautiful amount of giraffe over on that location, as well as the villagers are going to be making their way over here to eat these hippopotamus, or not Auroch, water buffalo and everything else. As the Minotaur going to be moving through here, we do see a lone trireme, or 2 trireme coming out for Matrius here. So going for 2, nope. He does cut that 1 trireme, so a lone trireme out here for Matrius to just control this water as the Minotaur and the Jason going to come through, slap down this dock. This trireme is going to be able to prevent any sort of dockage coming through for Nullus, and for Nullus to fight this off, he has to build like 2 longboats out here, and it's going to be just a big overcommitment to make that happen. As you do see the Katoskopos scouting through here, a little spire was dropped down there, more walls coming up as all the buildings coming through now, as Matrius is also going to be throwing down military academy and archery range, as he realizes that this is exactly what he's going to have to worry about. And we do see Nullus here, actually. He is going to be building a handful of longboats out. Is this going to work, though? 1 longboat pops out here. The dock going to be firing back here, as we see Matrius immediately starting himself another trireme, as this dock is getting dangerously low to getting taken down. That Minotaur does so much damage over here as 2 longboats pop out. 2 triremes are out here, and this is going to be a fairly easy fight for Matrius to win. All Matrius has to do is garrison a fishing ship in. We do see a dock attempting to come up here for Nullus. A big commitment, though, as it does seem like with the Herser coming through, we'll be able to delete that other Minotaur over there. These fishing ships going to sit here idly by for a little bit, as this dock may be able to come up, but it's still going to be a big fight necessary to win this middle of the water. And we do see that also Matrius has already built out his fishing ships to take control of the majority of this land, or this water, I should say, the fish, as Nullus gets his dock up over here. And that's a big win, actually, for Nullus to get that one back up. Would have thought that maybe Matrius would have been able to deny that, but good play there. We'll see, is he going to get some longboats out here or not, is the big question. It looks like this is just more to fake at this moment here, as we see Matrius here is having to build more trireme, and this gives Nullus even more time here to get into his Hall of Thanes, Herser, shenanigans. And really what Nullus needs to do at this point is get villager kills here in this game. As we do see the hoplites now pushing through over here, trying to take down these Herser, but Nullus doesn't really need to do this anymore. He has forced out a couple extra trireme, which is enough. All he needs to do, or if this one does get spent here, I mean, if Matrius builds a house and builds that trireme, I think that's actually more so a win than a loss for Nullus, because he spends 120 resources on this dock over here, and yeah, I think this is a smart play. So now starting to see Matrius pumping units out. Hall of Thanes coming through, 67 to 71 population as Nullus is going to be moving in, trying to find some villager kills. We see the villagers of Matrius just hopping onto this hunt over here, or pigs over here. It's a really, really nice defensive location for Matrius to defend here. If he gets up some buildings here to block off this medium gold mine, he should be okay against all of this stuff. As really, Matrius's big aim now in this matchup has to be to get to Heroic Age, so that he can get like an Underworld and he can get Hypaspist, because it's super important to try and put pressure on with Greek, with Zeus against Loki. But in this kind of a situation, you can't really make that work. So getting Heroic Age, getting Underworld means you can dodge your flaming weapons. It's absolutely huge. And now while the score does indicate a huge advantage here for Matrius against Nullus, it's really not that big of a deal at this point. It's not that big of a deal. I think that the Hursa are going to be able to claim themselves a lot of resources here by just running around, picking off buildings and everything. We will be seeing the temple getting taken down over here, the gate getting taken down as well. Potentially this dock might go down as well, which is not something that Nullus is really going to be wanting to do. But picking off these villages here is going to be absolutely huge as Nullus runs straight through there. He's now starting to go after these villages. Matrius not really paying attention. He finally starts retreating, but do we see any villager kills? A little bit of lackluster micro there from Nullus to get some villager kills. He pushes all the villagers off of the wood line, but doesn't get anything here as these Trireme are going to be waiting, sitting, waiting, watching, going to be able to actually get a little bit of damage done onto these Hursa as more Hursa coming through. We've got 89 population for Nullus. So 97 for Matrius. Still a good potential to fight here, but he does need to make sure his houses are alive when he goes for the fight. Otherwise, he won't be able to get any myth unit spawns, and that is very, very important. As we do see the Hursa goes down, a Valkyrie does spawn there as the Hursa coming through. Imagine a wall over here to block the retreat path off as the unit's pushing in. Matrius getting absolutely caught out here. He's trying to run into this corner over here and get a little bit of a block here with his Hursa, with his hoplites to block the Hursa onto the Toxotes in the back there, as we do see restoration being forced out. But the fight here is such an advantage for Nullus, and this is exactly what Nullus wants here. He wants that restoration to get thrown down there. The Valkyrie popping out here as well. That's such a huge advantage here. And then following this, you can just drop the healing spring down. So many low HP Hursa here are going to survive as well, as the Jason does go down. Another Hursa goes down. But look at that. We've got 12 Hursa, 4 Valkyrie, and Nullus is full steam ahead here. He can cut all production, get a second town center, or go Heroic Age. And Matrius is so far behind, even with the villager lead here, because as Loki, if you don't know, Loki's Hursa are effectively villagers. They give him favor. They give him they give him free resources if he kills off units, but he does need to heal these bad boys up. Lots of very low HP units here, and he doesn't need to go for a fight. He just needs to get to the next age. Plenty of hunt over in the corner as well, as we see the villagers moving forward to eat these giraffes. That temple is back up, but Nullus being a little bit aggressive here. He doesn't need to fight this. He needs to get to the next age, as Matrius is already back up to full population here. He's got a lot of very, very healthy units. Medium Arch is going to come through. I imagine medium hoplites are going to come through, and the advantage for Nullus is going to come from little nick raids around on the other corner of the map and not trying to engage again unless Matrius gets caught out yet again. But I mean, Nullus has forced Matrius into a really weird position where if Matrius wants to push out and fight, he needs to like break down these walls or go straight for the opponent's base, which means he's going to get caught out very, very hard here. I'm surprised to see that healing spring. I mean, it has been thrown down. It's in the main base, which is probably a bit of a mistake. And we do see a town center coming up here for Nullus. I think this might be a little bit too overzealous for Nullus. He could have taken the villagers off of wood, chucked them over onto pigs over here. He's got a lot of villagers on wood with 8 there. But we do see the units pushing out onto this position here with that town center coming up. We do see one Hursa going to be finishing it up as the unit's going to come through here and start fighting this one on this position here. We do see the Odysseus is in on this fight now for a bit of a help, as now Matrius getting caught out yet again. He's still going for that forest there to block off these units, as the Hursa are going to move around on every single side here. No armory upgrades for either the player here, as the Valkyries are going to get taken down. Beautiful concave here from Matrius, as Nullus is deciding going to have to retreat away here for the time being. Plenty of resources for Matrius right now. He can actually drop 2 town centers at once here if he so chooses, to help him out, as the hoplites are going to be searching around here looking for some villagers to pick off. The villagers are over on this location, sitting in a very, very nice position here, as the Hursa coming back in. Looks like Nullus still can't get in onto this position. He kind of needs to swing his Hursa around the back here to get in onto this position. He could also delete a longhouse if he so chooses to get this attack to happen a little bit better, as the units here, they're in such a difficult to attack position. Now we'd have the Heroic Age coming through for Nullus, as his town center just about to pop up here. The Hursa have been cut on this position. We see another longhouse coming through, as Matrius is trying to find some value on this fight over here. He's still getting some good little chip damage done by his Toxotes, but good control by Nullus here, as the houses are going to start getting taken down over here. We do see the Hursa getting attacked, as the houses will need to get rebuilt back up, and we do see that's immediately happening over here for Nullus, as, I mean, losing these houses isn't the biggest of deals, but he does need to get them back up very, very quickly here. He won't want to take a fight without having those houses up, but he is moving through here to try and fight this one off. The Jason getting targeted down ever so slightly here, as Matrius is getting closer and closer to be able to advance to the next stage. We see a farm coming up over here as this town center on the middle getting grabbed for Matrius as well, as the army retreating back ever so slightly. Nullus here still trying to get around, still waiting for that Bragi. We see Copper Mail coming through as well, which I think is a great idea. Back up to 118 of 120 population as the units coming through here. Delete that longhouse and just get the surround over here would be completely fine. You don't need the longhouse anymore. He's got 4 military buildings over here, so he doesn't really need it. As we see Apollo coming through, flaming weapons going to get dropped immediately here to chase these units away. We see the Hersa attacking over here as the Hersa pull off on the back here to try and get us around, but that's a great play by Matrius to just turn around while that happens. But it does look like the rest of these military units of Matrius will be falling, so another huge fight, a huge win here for Nullus. He gets 3 IDR spawns here. Whether or not that's going to be much of a help, or is it just 2? I can't count. Is it 2? It's just 2. 2 IDR spawns here, as the Odysseus is going to fall down. Matrius now has lost 2 armies here, basically for not very much. And Matrius is going to the heroic age, though. So Nullus has to figure out what the best course of action is here. And I think the best course of action is to get Mythic age, go through Hell and start making Fire Giant and start taking into raiding cavalry immediately. Has to be the right play, because Matrius is clearly, well, now Matrius is in the heroic age. He knows that this is a possibility, but taking into raiding cavalry means getting prepared to start making raiding cavalry by getting the technologies. You don't actually have to build them just yet, but get medium cavalry, get heavy cavalry. As we see the Hersa swinging through here, going to try and take out this town center. Meanwhile, over here, we do have some units that have been built for Matrius. He's very, very behind on the population. This town center now coming up with just the 1 Hersa. Like that play as the pressure is coming through. We got the battle ball on this position as well as that trireme being a little bit annoying here. Don't have to worry too much about it. Just attack the town center. But I'm worried a little bit for Nullus here. He still has, well, he doesn't have much hunt left at all. He's got 1 water buffalo left. He's got 3 hippopotamus on this top side. He's got a couple of pigs left, so he will have to start farming here. But what I'm worried about is no attempt at taking into those raiding cavalry here, as now we do see the units pushing through for Matrius. Matrius is just saying, I got to attack, as we do see the Hersa pushing through over onto this position over here, taking down a village or 2, going to be losing some Hersa to make that happen. But if you're Nullus here, just attack this town center, start trading town centers for town centers isn't a bad idea here, especially with Nidhogg coming through. Going to be able to defend this town center very, very easily while you put pressure onto the opponent's town center. And not only that, some side builds over here wouldn't go astray from Nullus either, as we see a couple of Einhjar coming through onto this position, as the Hersa swinging around over here, going to attempt to defend this one, as we do see some units now starting to attack this. We're at 80% here. The temple is up, and that's going to be the temple where the Fire Giant comes out, so not going to be that much of a help here, as more villages getting cleaned up on this position over here. Nullus losing a lot of units to make this happen, as he is moving over here, taking down some hoplites on this position over here, but the Odysseus is in to help out against any of those myth units, as a couple of Hersa garrisoning into this town center. There's the Mythic age from Nullus, as the Nidhogg does get dropped down over here. We will be seeing the units going to be retreating back, but those triremes do a lot of damage here to the Nidhogg. Is the army going to be retreating away? I'm surprised to see him use that there when he kind of knows that the gold villagers have to move over onto this gold mine at some point. He could have used it much, much better as a gold villager raiding tool here, but the Fire Giant getting picked off. The villager's going to clean that one up. The units moving in onto this position as Matrius pulling back into his home base here. We will be starting to see Fire Giants getting spewed out here by Nullus, as Nullus just about to get up his 3rd town center. He's on 3 town centers now. You're going to have a decent economy to boot here. 45 villages to 64 plus the 10 fishing ships does mean it's advantage Matrius in terms of economy here, but you still have to remember Loki being behind on economy isn't that big of a deal, because he does get those Fire Giants here. But we'll see what Matrius is going to do. We're seeing this Nidhogg getting thrown away here. This is not what you want to see here in the slightest, because this Nidhogg is such a powerful unit against Greek, because they've only got 1 hero that shoots up. But he is just throwing it away willy-nilly, and Matrius is going to be super happy about this one here. Meanwhile, the Hersa are still pushing in. Now I've got those Pacifist coming in. Nullus has made no effort to to build those raiding cavalry that we were talking about before. Yes, there's only a handful of Hypaspist here, but still raiding cavalry super important in this situation as the Nidhogg does get taken down. We've got the units now for Nullus pushing in to grab this hunt over here. This is really smart to take that away from Matrius at this point. This is going to allow him to continue motoring or continue Nullus to continue motoring ahead in this game. He's also got the villagers on this hunt, or this chicken over here where he's got hippopotamus over here. He's also got the giraffe on this location, but we now are starting to see some sort of a side build over here. Temple coming up. We do have to remember there is Rampage available here for Nullus to start spamming out mountain giants, or even just building the mountain giants for the cost of the normal speed is a decent idea, as we do see these fishing ships getting cleaned up over here as well. Nice play from Nullus here to take these out with his fire giants. He could also drop his own docks down and re-fish up here if he wants to get a little bit more of an economy out on that middle location there, but we'll see how things are going to be going here. As the building is getting taken down, Matrius is going to be retreating back into his main base. Does he have a market up? He does have a market up. There is a very, very easy way to stabilize here for Matrius, which is to get to the Mythic Age through Hera. Hera will be able to delete all of these Herser, but most importantly, get access to the Medusa, which is a unit which can one-hit the Fire Giants and give Zeus a really, really good time in that Mythic Age, because generally speaking, like Zeus's Bellerophon is really, really good against fire giants by itself, but with the added benefit of a Medusa to pick them off in one shot, it can be very tough to defend that. As we do see Matrius going up through Hera, he's advancing through Hera on this town center up over here. A little bit spicy to see that. We do see that this side build getting taken down as Matrius is continuing to push up onto this top corner of the map. We see the Herser pushing through over here as the fire giants about to get targeted down by the Jason, by the Heracles. We see the Herser pulling back over here to try and deal with this over here as the Herser not quite fast enough to deal with this. As now the Hypaspist going to be able to pick off all of these Herser as well. The Heracles is going to stay alive for quite some time. We do see a mountain giant spawn here. That's going to be a really big help. So we also see a hill fort getting dropped down into this position as well. And we'll see how it's going to go as the fire giant needs to pull back here. Has he got the upgrade for these bad boys yet? No, he does not. The upgrade is very, very expensive. It's like it's the granite blood, 200 extra hit points there with like 600 wood. It does cost quite a bit to get that. 600 wood or 60 favor? I can't remember. Yeah, 600 with 30 favor. It's one of the most expensive upgrades in the game, but it's definitely worth grabbing here as the fire giant user. As the Nullus Hill Fort does come down here, we will be seeing the town center will be getting targeted down here as well by those fire giants. Hera is at 70% at this point. Matrius down to 115 to 115 population. He needs to rebuild those houses. He's in a very, very dire situation here as Nullus is pulling super far in front. And what can Matrius do here? Does he have the temple? He does have the temple up here. Hera is just about to pop though. That's going to be a huge amount of damage done onto those Hers. So how much gold is in the bank here for Matrius? He's got himself 700 gold in the bank, so he will be able to build himself a Bellerophon here as the town center is getting targeted now. We see fortified town centers comes in relatively clutch here as the lightning storm getting dropped immediately. Pull those Herser back, drop into the hill fort here. You have to, that's the point of the hill fort. He could have taken it. Oh, he loses all of his Herser, loses 3 of his fire giants, and the last fire giant going to get picked off here as well. Nullus' push gets absolutely deleted here as Nullus has to pull all the way back. And now we go into a much more equal looking late game where it looked like Nullus had got a kind of enough of an advantage here. As we see the Medusa getting targeted down here as it's trying to pull back. We've got the hill fort still trying to build these Ballaster out as Nullus is attempting to get straight into these Ballaster Fire Giant combo, but it's really not the best unless you've got yourself walls and towers. You've got to set up for it first. It's a very tough composition to set up for. As we see the Bellerophon jumping through here, the Medusa being microed really, really nicely as well, as the Bellerophon does manage to take down one Fire Giant there, as Nullus is falling behind on the score ever so slightly here. He's got 76 villagers out at this point, but he's going to be eating this hunt over here. Still has got hunt. He's thrown down farms. His economy is, while it's a little bit weak, it's kind of equal to Matrius as it is, but he does need to get himself out raiding cavalry here or Jarls at some point as this hill fort will be getting taken down, and Matrius is going to be surviving here as he's still got this gold mine up here and a gold mine over on this location, as well as the Medusa does manage to get sniped down here. Matrius, does he have villagers on favor? He's just got the one. I think this is a slight mistake here for Matrius. He probably should just put like 3 villagers on favor, which would allow him to get a Medusa out maybe every 2 minutes to deal with these fire giants coming through and keep the numbers a little bit low. Even if you just trade one Medusa for 1 fire giant, I think that's absolutely value to be had. Or even for a frost giant, keep it in the back, and you don't even have to throw it away. As we do see, this Bellerophon does manage to pick off another fire giant as it's continuing to cause problems here for Nullus as the Hearse are trying to chase this one down, but Matrius is doing this nicely. He's just taking out the fire giant, and just ignoring those Hearser, and Nullus here, he hasn't worked out that he can't continue to build these Hearser going into this composition. Look at this. There are hoplites here for Matrius. So Matrius is playing this one smart. It means that Nullus can't go for a hard switch into raiding cavalry, but he can but still, you should be going for at least some. As we see the Underworld coming through here as the hometown center of Nullus going to be getting targeted down. We see fortified town centers coming through, but the army out of position right now for Nullus. He's got himself 13 Hearser moving in onto this position right now, but is it going to be enough? Do we see Nullus getting himself Masons here? No Masons coming through while this attack is coming in. Losing this town center is going to be absolutely huge because it means that the next fight that ensues here will mean that Nullus is not going to be able to get any myth unit spawns for a little bit. And not only that, we see Champion Hypaspist coming through. These Hearser are going to get absolutely totaled in this fight, as even with a little bit of armor upgrades here for Nullus, Matrius has himself no armor upgrades except for copper weapons here. The Hypaspist are just such a hard counter unit for Hearser. And Nullus does decide to tap out there, ladies and gentlemen. Matrius managing to survive here in this game. It looked super, super close here. Nullus almost had this win. I feel like if he didn't waste the Nidhogg, because he didn't get any value out of that Nidhogg, if he just didn't cast it straight away, saved it for the gold mine over on this side, so that the Nidhogg would just continue to raid this location over here, take out the Odysseus from the game. Also, instead of like throwing away all of his units over here, just put one longhouse over on this corner here to be able to raid and deal with the Odysseus. He could have done so much damage to Matrius' economy with the Nidhogg and a side build here that I feel like Matrius would never have been able to get to the Mythic Age and cast that Lightning Storm and come back in this game, because that Lightning Storm was everything in this game. It absolutely allowed Matrius to survive here, and that's the difference between getting value out of a god power and not getting value out of the god power. That's what makes this game so good, is how important god power usage is here. Nullus had a really, really good usage of his flaming weapons. He didn't really use his healing spring. Matrius wasted his restoration in a way, and he got huge value out of his lightning storm and his underworld. And in the end, that's what gave him the win. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.